Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, not here with Geeky Sparkles in this video, but we're going to talk about One Piece, the live action adaptation coming to Netflix. This is a show that nobody is looking forward to, nobody thinks is a good idea, and apparently nobody liked what they saw of it. According to Fandom Wire, according to test screenings, it was awful. Reportedly a slaughterfest of bad CGI and nonsensical story. Did anybody think that One Piece could be adapted faithfully in live action? No, I didn't either. And look, Netflix should have learned its lesson from Cowboy Bebop. We're going to talk about that and how they decide to cancel shows. And I think this one was greenlit before Cowboy Bebop, if I remember correctly. I don't know, I can't keep track of who's coming and going, but Cowboy Bebop was a colossal failure, and I think Cowboy Bebop actually lends itself to live action much, much better than something as fantastical as One Piece. This is going to be a train wreck, guys, if it ever sees the light of day. I mean, I'm sure it will eventually, but test screening's not good. This is probably going to be a one and done. Like Cowboy Bebop again. It got canceled like a week or two after the show dropped, and a lot of what determines whether or not these shows are going to get renewed is the cost of the show and the completion rate. And we'll talk about that. Basically, do people watch the entire show, or do they watch 2 episodes and then nope out? And I think that's what happened with Cowboy Bebop. A lot of people watch Cowboy Bebop because, hey, it's Cowboy Bebop, or we're going to watch it and see how bad it actually is, and then they watch it and it's a disaster and they only watch like 2 episodes. That's what I did. I watched the first 2 episodes and then I watched the very last episode just to see how bad the kid that played Ed was, and thank God they pulled the plug on this thing. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, go out to clownfishtv.com. Help support the channel at thereef.support. And we do talk a lot about anime, the animation industry, Netflix, Hollywood, all the stupidity going on in pop culture. This one's coming from Fandom Wire. Netflix's One Piece live action test screening, reportedly a slaughterfest of bad CGI and nonsensical story. Doesn't sound very promising, does it? One Piece is one of the most popular anime series that has been running for over 2 decades. I remember when it first came out. I remember when the manga first came out. The epic adventure of Monkey D. Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates has captured the hearts of millions of fans around the globe. The anime series is known for its outstanding storytelling, action, humor, and emotional moments that are loved by fans of all ages. The show continues to gain millions of fans, and as a result, a live-action series was announced in 2020 based on Oda's manga series of the same name. So yeah, it was announced before live-action Cowboy Bebop failed miserably. So I think they have a contractual obligation to do this thing. Well, some fans of the series felt that it was a good idea. Others called it a horrible idea due to Netflix's earlier adaptations of anime series like Death Note, Bleach, and Cowboy Bebop. They were all a disaster. Recently, a trusted scooper from Hollywood tells us the CGI in One Piece was abominable, and fans were not surprised about it. How do you make Luffy look good in live action? Riddle me this. As soon as they announced this, I'm like, there's no way in hell they're going to make his powers look good in live action. It's going to look ridiculous. It's going to look like freaking 90s Fantastic Four movie levels of bad. When the announcement of the live-action series of Oda's One Piece was announced, it was met with a lot of criticism by anime and manga fans. Recently, Divinity Seeker gave a scoop on the test screening of the live-action series by Netflix, where they stated that the show tested horribly. The CGI was horrible, and the story of One Piece made no sense to the casual viewers. Hence, every episode of the Netflix adaptation are being rewritten. Holy God, it's so bad they have to rewrite it. In a series of tweets, Divinity Seeker stated that the first episode of the series heavily deviated from the source material. Hey guys, remember when we expressed concerns about this and other people expressed concerns about this? And everybody's like, oh, it's fine, Oda's involved. Oda's involved. It'll be fine, guys. It's not going to be like Cowboy Bebop. It's going to be fine. I'm like, bitch, this is Netflix. This is Netflix. You actually expect this to be a faithful adaptation. Do you know how much it would cost to make One Piece look good in live action? A lot more money than Netflix is willing to spend these days, right? The first half of the episode was full of flashbacks. The other half of the episode quickly introduced the viewers to the first 4 crewmates of the Straw Hat Pirates. The Scooper continued that his source stated that the tone of the show is not working for them, and the looks of the cast were different from the original characters. Well, that's never good, which added to the difficulty of the live-action series, making it inconsistent. However, he acknowledged he does not know anything about the original show, and from what he saw of the test screening, it looked fine to him, but some of them had unnatural hair colors. While the first test screening failed to meet expectations of the creators, they're making changes so that it can add to the popularity of the anime and the manga series. But is a live-action One Piece series possible that features authentic characters and a story true to the source material? No, I don't think so. Not without a ridiculous budget. It would take a ridiculous budget to get One Piece to work in live action. The idea of the live action series was already bad news, and numerous fans of the show were unsure if the OTT platform could pull off a successful adaptation. No, it's not going to go well. So it's not going to go well. It's going to go just like the Cowboy Bebop series went. It's going to come and go, and people are going to forget it existed, other than to meme it. Cowboy Bebop was axed after, 2 weeks? Yeah, 10 episodes prior to the November 19th was its 2021 debut. The Hollywood Reporter noted the show garnered only a 46% positive critical score, and they canceled it, December 5th? December? They canceled it after like 2 or 3 weeks. It was crazy, and here's what probably factored into it. Beyond the critical score, it is watch time. It is completion rate, right? The completion rate is important. This is why it was such a big deal that Amazon's Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, only had a 37% completion rate. Now that's on Amazon, and they're probably going to get passed because of all the money they already sunk into the show. But on Netflix, if people don't watch your show to the end, that means you've failed, because the chances of them coming back for a second season are slim to none. This is coming from BGR.com. They said they speculate the completion rate is probably why Netflix cancels shows so quickly. The completion rate refers to the percentage of Netflix users that start and finish a show. A report said that Netflix might end TV shows after 2 years, around when it's time for a cast and crew to negotiate. They're basically trying to figure out what does it take for Netflix to actually cancel a show, and the completion rate is a big part of it. What happened with Cowboy Bebop? Because I remember, it was at the top of the charts, and everybody's like, oh my God, this thing is like the #1 show on Netflix. Well, yeah, they promoted the hell out of it. They had it on the front page of Netflix, on the homepage. But people were probably watching the first episode or the first 2 episodes, realized it was dog shit, and turned it off. And if One Piece is that bad, the same thing is going to happen. You're going to see it top the charts the first week or two. People are going to tune in just to see how bad it is, and then they're not going to watch anymore. Right? And they're not going to renew this show. I think they have a contractual obligation to do it, but Netflix has actually canceled shows that were greenlit. Netflix has canceled shows that were mid-production before because they knew that it was going to be a disaster. They weren't going to get a return on their investment. They're throwing good money after bad. So I have to wonder if this One Piece adaptation is so god-awful, would Netflix actually be like, you know what, we cannot salvage this. Look at what happened with Cowboy Bebop. We're not going to do this again. Just pull the plug. We'll just take the write-off, pay Oda whatever kill fee we have to pay him, and just vault this thing. That might be the best course of action at this point. Just throw it in the damn vault and just be done with it, because it sounds like it's going to be a train wreck. Nobody expected this to be good. But again, for One Piece to work in live action, it's going to take a lot more than Cowboy Bebop would have taken. Cowboy Bebop was basically filmable. The anime was filmable if you had a proper budget. I mean, kind of the same with, Battle Angel with Alita. We saw that, that particular adaptation could be done in live action. It could be done well if you had the right team and the right budget, because it was basically filmable. One Piece is not something I would consider filmable, given a lot of the character designs and a lot of the special attacks, and it's just, I don't see it working. But if they want to go ahead and do it, they want to freaking bleed out money. I mean, by all means, Netflix, if you want to keep losing money, go for it. You release this One Piece live action show, and we'll see how much money you lose. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later. Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.